Hi everyone, it's Separate with ChevelleMarvelio.com, and thank you so much for all your support and help. And I wanted to just go ahead and finish up some of the series on Candida. Candida, as I mentioned before in some of the other videos, please go look at those. It's basically a yeast infection. It's something that can happen to men as well as women, and it's basically a yeast imbalance. So when you hear yeast infection, it's really yeast imbalance. So you want to make sure that you get those things back in balance. And one of the things that you can do, I've talked about, is your diet. It is getting rid of all those sugars, which is hard to do sometimes, but you got to get rid of the sugars. You can substitute with honey and maple syrup. In the beginning, I would really try to go cold turkey because it'll take the process much longer if you don't. But if you so happen to get a sweet tooth, you can have a spoonful of honey, and it definitely has those antioxidants. It has a lot of good nutrients that can be more beneficial than kind of deteriorating your immune system, because that's ultimately why a yeast infection happens. The immune system is out of balance. And as we know, or if you don't know, the immune system, about 70+% of your immune system is in your gut, which is where your bowels are. And if you are having a lot of mucus, a lot of drainage, if you're not getting it out, it's going down and into your stomach. It's going into that lining, and it's actually creating a lot of issues down there, where if you're being constipated, you're having a lot of issues, that means that waste is not getting out, and it needs to. So one of the things you could do is a master cleanse, which is cayenne pepper, lemon, and honey. If you want to do that, I would kind of stay away again from the sweets for trying to get rid of candida. So lemons are always good, and I always keep these around. And I mean, well, I cook anyway, so I like to use the zest for like flavor, stuff like that. But that's something that you could do. And of course, garlic is so awesome. Garlic does everything. And I would say you can eat it raw, because you can, and it definitely works. I mean, I know I've done it before, but you want to make sure that you have, obviously some breath mints and stuff like that. Everybody doesn't want to have garlic unless they're eating like, some type of food with garlic in it. But it definitely does a lot for your immune system. You can actually even cut it up like a clove, and you can basically slither it up and put it on the skin underneath your feet. And then that way you're not really eating it, and it's actually getting into your system, into your bloodstream, and it's cleaning out all those impurities. When you do that every day, now, one can say somebody's feet will be a little funky or smell, but at the end of the day, I mean, you can always wash them off and, scrub really good. But the main thing is that you get rid of the infection, the yeast infection, because what it is that eventually, over a prolonged time, you could have anything from brain lesions to fogginess of memory, to constipation, to just a wide range, which I've talked about on the other videos. Please go look at those. A wide range of symptoms and basically suffering, when all you have to do is stop eating all that sugar, cut back that meat. And really, red meat isn't the greatest thing for everybody. So you want to be sure that you are consulting with your doctor. Again, I'm not a licensed doctor, but I do know a few things through my travels and through working with my clients. And I am a licensed cosmetologist, so there are certain things that I do know or am aware of, but I do want to point you in the direction of professionals if you have any questions. So one of the things that I definitely want to get across is that it's something that can be cured. You don't have to have an oral antibiotic all the time, and sometimes it does kill the good bacteria along with the bad bacteria. And also, it's one of the things that leads to PMS, which is one of the theories that I did not too long ago. And the response, thank you so much for the response on that, because I'm so glad that it's helping people. But Candida does cause of PMS for a lot of people, and they don't realize it. So once you get rid of the Candida, you're also on the road to getting rid of that PMS, which we know, depending on the person, can be horrible. And basically, to some extent, life threatening. It is not something that is okay. A lot of times we see so many commercials, just like maybe a migraine or any other ache or pain. It's like, it seems like it's normal to have these things, to just go get something over the counter and it'll fix it. And there's nothing wrong with alleviating the pain. So I'm not coming against all those that are trying to have a solution for the pain, but you really want to find the root cause of the problem and treat that, and not just the symptom, because it's going to stay there. It's just the underlining issue. So anyway, catch me on the next video, and I'll go into more depth about Candida and how to get rid of it and how to stop the overgrowth.